Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. A bit later than usual, and looking at things how they are going at the moment, this might be the new time when I stream. Basically, 8 p.m. UK time might be the new time I stream. Obviously, depending how everything goes, but for now, it looks like this could be the one for a while. So, what we have planned for today, to be honest, I have no idea what direction the stream will go, but basically the main topics are issues at Arsenal, is it time to panic, and how much time we give Arteta to fix this. Because let's be real, the time is running out, time is ticking, and everything is basically coming to an end to a certain extent. So definitely that will be the main topic for today. So if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell. We just hit 300 subscribers. What a fantastic thing. You have been so fantastic with your support, comments, likes, and all that stuff. It's been great. On to next target, 400 by the end of the year. But yeah, keep it live in the chat. If you have opinions you want to discuss, leave it down in the chat or comments below if you're watching this as a playback. And definitely I will try and answer all those comments, because I pretty much tend to answer every single comment that there is happening. So yeah, it has been a very rough ride for Arsenal in general. Big up Pepper in the chat, big up. Yeah, the grind is paying off. The grind is paying off. And big up Pepper for the support as well. Big up my guy. And no, don't know you were here or not, but this time might be the new time when I stream, 8 p.m. UK. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, Arsenal. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. I have no idea where to begin, where to go, and what to start with, because at the moment, Arsenal are shambles. Arsenal are shambles, to say the least. Performance is not happening on the pitch. Off the pitch, lots of PR, lots of talk, but no action to back up those words. Because let's be real, we all know that actions speak louder than words. And so far, it has not been delivered. It wasn't delivered also in summer transfer window, when Edu said, wait till the end of the window, you will be excited. And we signed Raheem Sterling on the deadline day. If you ask me on the transfer in June, let's just say, before the transfer window opened in June 13th or 14th, it was, that we will end our transfer window with signing Calafiori, Neto on loan, who is cup-tied, Raheem Sterling, and Mikel Merino, yeah, I would have pretty much called 911 and taken you to the asylum straight up. I'm not gonna lie. And the people after this transfer window were gassing it up like it's the best transfer window you have ever seen, giving it 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 pretty much. So basically what that means, that this bench and these new signings should be enough for us to win the title. That's what they were saying, because we were this close to winning it last year, a bit further, maybe this close 2 years ago. So this year should be the year. And for me, throughout this whole transfer window, it came to the level that this transfer window is basically do or die transfer window. Because either we will do the right things and get the glory, or it will be another subpar window and we will crash and burn. And so far, there are no indications of the glory whatsoever. So far, it looks like it's crash and burn settings. Top 4 battle in Premier League, title more or less, if this keeps up, is gone 100%. Even if Arteta changes things and it somehow starts to click into gear, in long term, I don't know if it is justifiable to actually work long term. And signings, all injured at some point at least. Merino signed, instantly injured, out for a few months. Calafiori has been injured more and off here or there, so has missed quite a few games. Timber just come back from injury and barely can play about 70 to 80 minutes before getting subbed off, which to be honest is expected after an ACL injury until he kicks into gear. Yet at the same time, that was nothing we signed up for, because this was the summer transfer window where we expected to sign a striker, a Saka backup, a midfielder, a backup for Odegaard, and actually go for it. But so far, we are sitting 5th in the table. It could have been a lot worse. After the result over the weekend, but we are sitting 5th. To be honest, sitting 6th, there's no big difference. We are in Europa League spot at the moment. And with the performances we are doing, we are putting out, it was just a matter of time until the performances catch up to the results. until results catch up to the performances. Because we were scraping certain games, wins and draws where you could argue we shouldn't be winning. We got lucky. And we were looking at this about a few weeks ago, I think 3 weeks ago, when we were looking at Optadata statistics where the supercomputer was predicting certain things, and it was saying that based on Arsenal's performances and everything that on GA, XG, XA, and all that stuff we were putting out, we should be ninth. And just because we managed to scrape certain results, we were basically second or third at the time. So basically just showed that at some point the penny will drop. And so far it looks like it is dropping, and it is dropping hard. And basically this is all on Kroenkes, this is all on Edu, and this is all on Arteta. Because yes, players have had awful performances during these games. Players have had subpar performances below their standards. But I strongly believe that looking at this and looking at also how partially it went over the preseason, we are playing style and we are playing in a way that massively handcuffs and boxes in our players, not allowing them to express themselves and utilizing their full potential. Because if you are a proper manager, you are a proper coach, you basically manage and coach your players in a way where you kind of highlight their strengths, and while highlighting one player's strengths, you mask other players' weaknesses, and by highlighting other players' strengths, you mask the other players' weaknesses. That's how you get the best result out of the team. You get it free-flowing and going like a charm. And at the moment, we are doing none of that. We are slowly exposing all the weaknesses we had, because the defense we had last year, best defense in the league, one of the best defenses in Europe, and everyone was saying, we just need to add to our attack and we should be golden. The issue is, now at this season when we are playing, where's that defense gone? What has happened to our defense that the drop-off is so massive that we have conceded already 11 goals? We have drawn 3 games, we have lost 2 games. Last year overall, throughout the whole 38 games, we drew 5 and lost 5 games. Our 38 games. We have played 10 already, and we have achieved half of those that we did over the whole course of the last season. Something is not clicking. And when you look at players' performances, the way players present themselves, look at their body language at times, their facial expressions during the game, after the game, there are 2 things I see. They're frustrated that they cannot perform, because there are certain instances where players are just not performing good enough. And it also gives me a feeling that players actually are sick of Mikel Arteta's tactics. Because the best style when we played was the first season we finished second, when we were free-flowing in attack. And the second best season, arguably, was last season, when we were controlling and defensively very solid. So defense wins you games, didn't happen. Defense doesn't win you titles, didn't happen. Good attack doesn't win you titles as well. So for me, Mikel Arteta has gone basically on massive PTSD. He's gone from one end of the spectrum, with playing free-flowing attacking football, to the other end of the spectrum, playing controlling, very systematic type of football. Neither of those worked, and this season, with everything that is going on, it's massively in disbalance, and our defense is not performing, our attack is not performing. For me, the perfect scenario would be kind of merging them together, and maybe then you can get an output. But it doesn't look like Mikel Arteta can do that. He's just not good enough. I think he has gotten as far as he can get us, and it's time to get him gone. It's time to sack him, and it's time to get in a proper coach who knows how to get it over the line and who is a proven winner. The thing is though, Kroenkes will never sign up to that, because they just gave him, either of their belief or either of their stupidity, who knows, a new deal with him, making him the 2nd or 3rd best paid manager in world of football. 15 million a year. Which means if they sack him now, with the 2 years left on his contract, it means they need to play 30 million in compensation. If this was Todd Bowley at the wheel, if this was even Ineos, I would have more belief and more trust that they would do the right thing and sack the man and get a proper manager. With Kroenkes, the way they're penny pinching, the way they are kind of trying to save money, they're happy with top four and everything over the years under Arsene Wenger and everything, I have no belief in that. It looks like they fully trust the manager. However, there is one big counterpoint. In recent interviews, Mikel Arteta has spoken quite a bit about his job. When he gets asked questions about his job, he usually was very positive, very happy, very like, he basically dressed it with flowers and being very positive in a very positive light. In recent interviews, he has talked about his job. When he gets asked the question, he has been somewhat negative. He has said that, oh, you never know in this business, you never know what's gonna happen and everything. He has been indicating that. And let's not forget the first season we finished second when battling the 8-point lead. Next year in the next season's beginning, he said himself that in summer he contemplated resigning from the job. So if there is that doubt, once, it's still there. It's very rarely that this doubt kind of disappears. It's very rare in any person that it disappears. It will always be there. As soon as you let that doubt in, it's gonna follow you all over the place. It's just the matter if you can manage it, if you can kind of block it out or not. And if this keeps up, I generally hope Arteta does the right thing and listens to that voice. Because this is not going well. Chelsea are above us. Maresca in phase 1 is above us. Liverpool in phase 1 are 7 points clear of us. We are 7 points behind the first place Liverpool. We are only 6 points ahead of 12th place Manchester United, man. Maybe Fulham or Brentford will be there, but if Fulham stays 12th with 12 points, still 6 points above 12th, 7 points behind first place. How comes at this stage with 10 games in, we are the title contenders, number 2 seed, Opta supercomputers predicting us to win the league? We already, with 10 games in, are closer to mid-table than we are to the top. How does that make sense? How does that make any sense whatsoever? It was clear from the opening game versus Wolves that we were not the same standard as last season. Exactly. If Raya doesn't pull in the first 3 games of the season against Strand Larsen that world-class save, he doesn't make that insane double save against Aston Villa. He doesn't make that insane double save on penalty against Atalanta. We are losing all of those games. Or drawing at least, at worst, at best. Because it was 1-0 up when Raya made the world-class save against Strand Larsen against Wolves. It would have been 1-1 and it was pretty much on stroke of half-time. Completely different situation. Watkins missed empty net, but then the double save Raya made. If they score that, or even Watkins scores the empty net, we all know that scoring against that Aston Villa, especially away at Villa Park, almost impossible. And same goes for Atalanta. Against Atalanta, we never showed any threat whatsoever that we would score. Almost whatsoever. And if they score that penalty, we are losing the game. And it has come to a point, basically, where results are catching up to performances. Last year, it was the same thing against Fulham on both occasions. We were against 10-man Fulham. That's even bigger for a disgrace, by the way. 2-1 up, conceding a corner. Paulinho scores everything. We lost the league there pretty much. And now we are already pretty much lost the league. Because if you're, as I said, Arsenal last year drew 5, lost 5, and the rest of them were wins, right? Already with 10 games in, we have done half of what we did last year in the losing points situation. Last year, Manchester City lost 3 games, drew 7 games. So basically got 2 points more. They also have done the half of the, 3 out of those things. The thing is though, with Manchester City, it's a complete different story. Because they have proven and they know how to get it over the line. They know how to pick themselves up. And you can bet your sweet ass that their ownership already has a list and has already transferred the money to Man City to January. Go and sign Zubimendi or whoever to replace Rodri and go for the title. Because they won't stand for it. Do I have belief that Kroenkes already have transferred around 100 million for us to sign Gyökeres in January? Do I have? No, I don't. Do I have the belief that we will sign a backup for Saka or someone else in the attack to make it more exciting? No, I don't. Do I have belief that Mikel Arteta will come out of his stubborn and weird ways, very controlling, micromanaging ways to actually change the system, change the tactics, change formation, to maybe throw a curveball into the team, to maybe refresh it? No, I don't. Because he basically does the same thing over and over and over again. He doesn't change it mid-season, ever. He does the same thing and maybe tries and tweak it, tries to look for perfection. He's the perfectionist. But sometimes looking for perfection is the worst thing you can do. That's what I have learned, because I'm, on certain level, I'm a very pedantic person. And I know that I'm looking for perfection in many things I do in life. And it legit, I'm 31 at the moment, and I'm still looking at things, and I have to restrain myself and still remind me that there are things that cannot be perfect, but there are other things I can do from the outside to make it look better, for example, when I do things. It's very, very thin lines, and at the moment, Arsenal doesn't have the pedigree. They haven't proven us that they have what it takes to get the job done. They have what it takes to get it over the line. Because if you look at it, in the second season, we balled top four massively. We needed 2-3 points from the last 5 games, and we balled it, and Spurs finished above us. Third season, 8 points clear, complete capitulation. Playing rock and roll attacking football. Which, by the way, where Martinelli was thriving like no tomorrow. Now, when he got the PTSD from the third season going into second season, in the season that just finished, right, when he finished second again, only 2 points behind, we played complete opposite of the football we played 3 seasons ago. Complete opposite. And Martinelli was nowhere to be found. And this season, we still continue to play the way like we played last year. And Martinelli still is nowhere to be found. And on top of that, our defense has gotten much worse. We are the set piece FC allegedly, but we have scored 2 set pieces throughout the whole season. Yesterday against Newcastle 2 days ago. Yesterday against Newcastle. We had multiple free kicks, corners. We couldn't get it past the first man. Declan Rice was on the free kick from the left side. One man in the wall, and he hits that man. 3 corners we crossed, couldn't get past the first man. Where is the set piece FC then? Where was it? We couldn't even do that. Set pieces against Donetsk Shakhtar. We had set pieces. What did they do? They weren't even focusing on Declan Rice on the corner. They were just picking up their mans they were told to cover and block them out so their goalkeeper easily could come out to the net and collect the ball. That's all you need to do. Genuinely, just block out the players, open a lane for goalkeeper to come out and collect the ball. Don't chase the ball. They did everything perfectly. And let's be real, against Shakhtar Donetsk, which we should be winning against, like 4-5-0, we barely scraped a 1-0 win. It was such a lucky goal that bounced off the post, hit the goalkeeper on the back, and basically crawled over the line. We got super lucky there. That's actually insane if you come to think about it. Oh, it's cool when we get the win. Obviously, the win paints over the cracks. But if you look at the game separately from the result, did we really deserve properly to win the game? Did we do enough? Because that arguably was the only situation where we actually got a shot. By the way, shot on post doesn't count even as a shot on target. If you go back and watch the beginning of the second half versus Wolves at Emirates, we spent 20 minutes in a low block, hoofing the ball halfway Exactly! And that's also the thing. What's happening at halftime? Against Newcastle, we come out of the halftime and we look worse than in the first half. What's happening in these talks against Liverpool? In the first half against Liverpool, we looked great actually, not gonna lie. We looked very good. In the second half, complete opposite. We completely gave up the ball in the game. And it's a repeated theme over and over and over again. Like, there is something that's not working. And I'm slowly starting also to believe that players are starting to get fed up with this. At some point, there will be a situation, either, two things could happen. Either the players will turn on Mikel Arteta at some point, because they are growing, they're maturing, they're realizing what's actually going on, and they want actually to win something. Or they will go to the board and say, I'm handing in a transfer request. Because Saliba already is courted by Real Madrid. And Saliba, since those talks, has been again very questionable on defense. You don't think there is a team in the world who wants Bukayo Saka? Who wants other players? Let's be real, there are teams in the world who will take our players. There are, the big ones. And what's happened when they do? Do I have the trust that that money again will be reinvested in big players? No, I don't. What we will do with that money? It will go in Kroenkes' pockets, as always. And it's so-called a fixed bench that's gonna change everything. There's no bench that can fix this. Ethan Nwaneri, a 17-year-old who plays random cameos in Premier League, plays the games in the Cup against Bolton, against Preston. He looked impressive there, let's be real. But he doesn't get even a proper chance in Premier League. We play Southampton at home, Leicester at home. Why doesn't, for example, Nwaneri start in those games? Because those are the prime games for him to start. Why doesn't he start there? Because you want to start Jesus, you want to start Sterling, who both combined did less on the pitch than Nwaneri in those 10 minutes when he comes on as a sub. Like, what are we doing here? Like, seriously, what's the point in signing Sterling? You will see the best of me. We have seen nothing yet of him. Nothing. Jesus, why is he still here? Zinchenko, why is he still here? Kivior, why are they still here? Fabio Vieira and all those players, why are they here? Well, we sign players everyone wants. How comes when we want to sell them, nobody wants them all of a sudden? How comes if everyone wants them, how come they're not that good? What is happening to Arsenal's scouting idea of talent? What is happening in that regard? When was the last time we signed insane talent? I don't care from where, by the way. From Europe, from Asia, from Africa, from South America. Where was it? When was it? It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. You can mention Martinelli, but he has had actually one good season at Arsenal. And that's when we were playing to his strengths. Quick football, get in behind, touch and move, pass, in the gaps, open spaces. That's where he thrives. And as soon as we slow down, start playing like a turtle, hoof-shaped, horseshoe type of football, he can't do anything. He doesn't have enough skill to take on opponents. He doesn't have enough physicality to battle with these players that try to cover him on wings. Because as soon as he goes against Konate, he shit his pants against Liverpool. Every single time. Against Kyle Walker, the same thing. It's one thing when you get past Trent, who cannot defend properly, who's more of a midfielder, who inverts, which is perfect for Liverpool in that regard and everything. It's completely other thing as soon as Konate comes up against you. Walker, Ruben Dias, Van Dijk, it's completely different story. He shits the bed instantly. This cannot continue. Because after these seasons, we all were saying, oh, we need a proper left back. We have one. We had Tierney. But Arteta doesn't like him. That's his problem now. Because I still believe that Tierney is the best left back in the team. Because he can defend, he can cross the ball, he can overlap. Forget this inverted bullshit, because let's be real, it's not working. We signed Zinchenko defensively, he's useless. We tried to invert with Kivior, that didn't work. Because when we played Kivior at left back, we inverted with Ben White from the right last season. Why don't you just want to overlap? Ancelotti doesn't invert. Inzaghi doesn't invert. How comes you cannot play just down the wing and overlap, like you do with Ben White and Saka, for example, who overlaps him? And he doesn't even do that anymore as often. He does it much less than he did 2 seasons ago, for example. How comes you cannot put Tierney at left back and say, okay, your job, defend, run, cross, overlap Martinelli, help him? Why can't you do that? Why it's all so focused on inverting in one box where everyone knows how you're gonna play, where you're gonna pass, and nobody has to do anything to defend it. Because as long as the ball stays in the midfield near center circle, there's nothing to worry about. And as soon as you shut down the passing lanes, you put out mid block, low block, whatever you want to call it, we are stopped. We don't know what to do because there's only one plan how to play. And as soon as you stop it, we're done. We legitimately are done. It's like someone pulls the emergency stop, it pulls to the halt, and that's it. We don't have a plan B, plan C, plan D. As soon as we go down, Arteta has the nerve, by the way, to put on 17-year-old when 2-0 down against Bournemouth, go save us. What is he gonna do when he hasn't played almost any minutes in Premier League to adjust to the league, to adjust to the tempo, physicality and everything? As soon as he came on against Newcastle, Willock, bang, massive tackle in there to show him who's boss on the pitch and make him question every next single move he does, so he overthinks it. If he puts him on against, let's just say Southampton or Leicester, they make those tackles. He might be more aware. He might learn from that. But no, you just throw in the deep ends, sink or swim, and that's it. You really hope that that's gonna work, because when we were losing to Bournemouth in the first season, when we were chasing the title and we finished second, we were 2-1 down, and it was 2-2. And what Arteta did, we needed a goal. He chugged on every single attacker he had on the bench to the pitch. And Nelson scored that wonder volley on his weak foot. That worked. And what happens since then when we are in a tight spot? He does the same thing. He puts on every single attacker most of the time. Every time. Same happened against Bayern Munich when we were losing and we needed a goal. We subbed on goddamn Edin Ketia to score a goal and save us. Like, seriously, Edin Ketia is gonna score the tying goal or winning goal against Bayern Munich at Allianz Arena to get us further. Do you really believe in that? That sounds legitimately like Pulp Fiction or something. In my mind, at least. I don't know how about you lot, but definitely in my mind. This just doesn't make sense whatsoever. 5 years here. No striker signed. Just think about it. The attackers Mikel Arteta has signed while being 5 years at Arsenal: Trossard, Jesus, Marquinhos, and that's it. Havertz, he said himself, is a midfielder. He tried to shoehorn him into the team for half a season, and when that didn't work, he decided, well, I have to pull a Hail Mary here, let's put him up top. And it worked to some extent, let's be real. And again, Havertz went on a scoring spree towards the second part of the season, and all of a sudden, we don't need a striker in summer window. Havertz is gonna score 20 Premier League goals. That's what the top gunners were saying during the summer transfer window. We don't need a striker. 8 out of 10 window. It's okay we didn't sign a striker. Havertz is gonna score 20 goals. Really? Really, Havertz is the guy you're gonna be depending on to beat Manchester City? To beat even Liverpool to this extent? Where was Havertz against Bayern Munich last year? Where was he against Atalanta? Where was he against Brighton? Oh yeah, he went one-on-one and he shot it at the keeper. He's not clinical enough. It just won't work with him there. Just never gonna work. We need a proper striker. Every single Arsenal fan, well, not every, most of the Arsenal fans, were screaming for a striker, backup for Saka, potential backup for Odegaard in summer. Did we sign any of those? No! We let every single goddamn player who could even be a backup, sold them. Nelson, gone on loan, who, by the way, at the moment is playing better than Jesus and Sterling combined. Add Trossard to the mix as well, by the way. Trossard has had one good game this season, in my opinion, and that was against PSG. That was the best game we have had in a very long time, let's be real. That was the best game we have had this season by a mile as well. But yeah, backup for Odegaard. ESR, he wants to play because Arteta promised him last January a playing important role in the title race. That's what Arteta promised him. What happened? He got man of the match against Luton, and since then he played few cameos here or there. Didn't play almost whatsoever. What Smith Rowe does in summer? Get me gone. Transfer request. Goodbye. I don't want to play for you anymore. What was the point in signing Fabio Vieira? He's crap. He scored a goal against Brentford. Ooh. He had few key passes against Wimbledon. Ooh, when Nketiah scored and all that stuff. He got a red card against Wolves. 35 million for what? For being injured all the time, holding the bench all the time. 3 out of 10 performances. And 2 years later, you loan him back to goddamn Porto. Where to begin with, he wasn't even a starter. He was coming off the bench. The best players at the time you could have signed was Pedro Gonçalves and arguably Conceição. And even then he wasn't still developed. Conceição we should have signed this summer as a backup for Saka. Like, for me with Arsenal, every single transfer window is the same story. If it makes sense, we won't do it. We genuinely won't do it. Because this summer was the summer to do or die. We were this close last season to winning the title. So my expectations were, yes, we're gonna go in the summer, sign a striker, sign a backup for Saka, sign an Odegaard replacement, a midfielder, a proper one, and we're gonna go for it. What do? We sign a guy who's been named after a plant in defense. We sign Real Sociedad's 3rd best midfielder. But he scored in Euros. Who cares? He's not good enough. I wanted in that instance Fabian Ruiz. But will Arsenal sign him? Of course not. We signed Mikel Merino because basically he has the same name as Mikel Arteta. Because we can have Mikel Square, Mikel Funhouse. Pause. And everything. And then the attack. I genuinely believe only reason we didn't sign striker was because Arteta, first of all, believes that Havertz is the guy. He's the man, the myth, the legend, the answer to all of our problems. Because he went on a scoring streak, on good goal-scoring form, in the end of the last season. And to be honest, the games we won, 5-0, 6-0, 4-1 and all those games, masked over the cracks, actually. Because that basically was goal stat padding, what we did at those times. Because if you look at it closely, if we don't score those goals, if we win those games 2-1, 1-0, like we basically, the performances indicated in the first half of the season, we wouldn't be on record-breaking goals. We would be around 85 goals, 82 to 85 goals. And that is pretty much bang average in a way, if you're going for a title. Like, it doesn't make sense. And for me, for Arsenal to sign a striker, it's one of the biggest priorities at the moment. The thing is though, with Mikel Arteta at the wheel, I don't have any trust that we will sign a striker. And if we do, can he manage him even? Because we haven't had a striker since Mikel Arteta has been here. He binned off Aubameyang, golden boot by the way, winning Aubameyang, who carried us through FA Cup and won it for him. He binned off Lacazette, and obviously kind of makes sense as well, but half the time he made Lacazette play as a number 6. He made Aubameyang play as a left wing back. We played 5 at the back then. It worked like a charm. With 5 at the back, we beat Man City. We beat Chelsea in the cup final. But since then, we have never played 5 at the back, by the way. The only formation that has gotten us proper chance against against Man City. We haven't played it since then. And if you think about it, since then he has only signed Jesus. And Jesus even isn't a striker. He's more of a winger. So what trust and belief should I have as an Arsenal fan that even if we sign a Gyökeres, a Vlahovic even, Daily Dusan, Daily Vlahovic, Benjamin Šeško, that Benjamin Tesco and those guys, right? That he will know how to manage him. Because even at City, when he was the assistant, City won the league actually without playing a proper striker. They played Mahrez as a 10. They played Bernardo Silva as a 10. Even Zinchenko was playing as a 10. As a 9, sorry, as a 9. As a 9. He was playing Mahrez as a 9. Zinchenko as a 9. He played Zinchenko in a Champions League over Jesus as a number 9. When Jesus said himself he was going to the hotel crying and called his mom or grandma and said that he wants to leave. He was playing everyone else besides a proper striker. And as soon as Mikel Arteta leaves, we buy from them Zinchenko, we buy Jesus, and put those two together, we basically funded them signing Haaland. And let's be real, the rest is history, isn't it? Haaland goes to breaking records, scoring goals left, right, and center, and winning leagues, winning titles, winning all you can imagine. While Arsenal, have signed players who are nowhere good enough. In one season, we outgrew Zinchenko. In one season, obviously it was injuries as well affected, but we outgrew Jesus, who even himself has admitted that scoring goals isn't his main trait. It's not his strong suit. But the question is, what is his strong suit? Because Brazilian? Joga bonito? It's more like joga hospital. Jog on to the hospital. Because he has had the surgery on the same knee multiple times? Like, just not good enough. Embarrassing. Pathetic. 30 million nearly on Kivior. What has he done at Arsenal? Oh, tying shoelaces when Sporting Lisbon are scoring goals in front of his own net in the 6-yard box. That's an achievement, isn't it? Yet when we just signed him, the PR was insane. Oh, he has broken Theo Walcott's sprint records and stuff like that. I think it was Theo Walcott's. I might be naming the wrong player, but it's the same thing stands. Theo Walcott's sprint records he's breaking. Ooh. Yet on the pitch, he looks like Granit Xhaka. Even Per Mertesacker is faster than him still. Same goes for Calafiori. Oh, the bench press, same levels as Gabriel, same levels as Saliba. Where? He got bodied by... Who was it? He got bodied against Shakhtar by a random Brazilian. He got bodied by almost every single winger that's coming up against him. He gets shoveled the ball easily. What bench press he is doing? What bench is he pressing? Like stool outside where grandma sits on in the park, which is half broken, or what? Like, what are we doing here? Like, seriously, what is our transfer policies and everything? This is the... Arsenal finished with 10 million net profit this last summer transfer window. And you want to win title like that. That alone shows that we are not serious. That it's embarrassing. Which team is this close to winning the title and thinks, what we need right now is profit in it. So sell and maybe we will sign someone. When you are this close, when you need at least like 3-4 signings to actually solidify team to go for the title. What team operates like that? Look at other leagues. Any single team that finishes second, 1 point behind the other team, they will go nuts in transfer window because they know they are there. They're almost there. Just pick the right pieces and we could do it. What Arsenal does? They sell all the backups, make their squad even thinner than last year, and take 2 steps backward. And now, as a due to this incompetence, it's not that we have gone closer to City, because we have not, let's be real. The other teams have gone closer to us. Liverpool, who signed no one besides Chiesa, but who's also in the hospital half the time, are top of the league, 7 points clear. Arsenal allegedly have PSR issues. Allegedly, who knows? It might be a myth, might be not. But City and Liverpool don't. They might go in January and spend what they want, according to some rumors and reports. So what chance Arsenal have to catching up to them now? I'm talking catching up actually. Because, let's be real, Chelsea already are ahead of us. Nuno Santo, exactly, phase 2 is above us. Nottingham Forest, they are above us. Chris Wood has scored 8 goals this season. We could have done with a Chris Wood up top. Just imagine the strikers we could have signed. Osimhen, Šeško, Gyökeres. Let's add to the mix Vlahovic and other strikers we have been linked with. Multiple ones we could have signed. Even the ones we were not linked with. Alvaro Morata, Artyom Dovbyk. They're countless that went for peanuts even this summer. Morata for 10 million. Dovbyk for 35 million. That's 45 million. So basically for the price you paid for Calafiori, you could have signed 2 strikers. Is Morata better than Ketsia? 100%. Is he better than Havertz? Yes, he is. Yes, he might be a donkey as well a bit, but he knows how to score. He's a proven winner. Dovbyk, top goal scorer in La Liga. 35 million. You don't think he can score? You don't think he would do good at Arsenal, especially with the crosses we try actually only to put in? He has very good knack for goals. His movement in the box is actually very pristine, very good. And what is the issue from Arsenal last year and this year as well? We were talking about this graphic right here. This is how we looked against Newcastle yesterday. Have you noticed that our main striker, 29, is he at the top? Is he like in the peak of this massive triangle or rhombus or whatever you want to call it? No, he's in the midfield. Which means when Martinelli or Saka get the ball, run down the byline and does what they do and then cross the ball, there is nobody in the 6-yard box to potentially tap it into the empty net. That was yesterday. 2-3 times I saw that. It happened last year on countless occasions. We even did that when we had Lacazette, and I was myself was saying it's the only reason Lacazette isn't in the box is because he's too slow. I don't think that is the case, because I have now seen Havertz, Jesus, and everyone. It's the style we actually play, because every single time almost when there's a 6-yard pass across the goal, there's nobody there. The thing is though, as mad as it may sound now, when we had Nketiah in the team, right? He at least was in that 6-yard box. The ball just didn't get to him or he miskicked it, right? But at least he was there. At least he got to the ball at times. It's just the matter of finishing, the killer instinct, the proper touch and everything. He just didn't have that at times. Plus, he was running around sometimes like a headless chicken, but that's a bit different story. But we don't have a striker who's there in the 6-yard box, who keeps their defenders on their toes. Because at the moment, since we don't have a designated striker, a specialist in that position specifically, it makes the job very easy for the defensive team. Because that allows them to overcommit 2-3 people to Saka, 2-3 people to Martinelli, to Odegaard, to everyone else, to shut us completely off. Shut off the passing lines, shut off everything. Because if we don't have that striker, there's nobody to focus on in the box. So what they can do is shift their attention elsewhere. And that is the dream for any somewhat good team. And that's what basically we saw also yesterday. Because Saka was shut down by Hall, Martinelli got shut down by Livramento, everyone was shut down. And it took one cross for them to score. And we were looking at the stats yesterday. Newcastle attempted 7 crosses, 1 was successful. And ironically enough, that one cross that was successful resulted in a goal. It's insane when you have a proper cross and a proper striker you can cross the ball to. But no, Arsenal actually don't need that, according to Super Duper Mick, according to Edu Barbecue Gaspar, according to Top Gunners and everyone else. Like, how comes fans can see the issues at Arsenal, but manager doesn't, sporting director doesn't, even Kroenkes is obviously there because they're completely different space, but they don't. Fans are the ones that make the team what it is in a way, with the atmosphere, tickets, money, and everything. We see that, but they don't. So what trust can I have at the moment in Mikel, in the ownership and anyone else, that they will do the right thing? Either sack Arteta, or get the job done in January, or what? Because at the moment, it's looking very bleak, and it's looking hella sus. Very bad, and very deep lying, very problematic. And it's a massive issue. Because unless we get ourselves in the check properly, we will get run over. Arsenal haven't kept a clean sheet in about 3-4 games in a row now, and we tend to concede first. Yes, Chelsea don't have the best defense, for example, but Chelsea's attack, not sure we can handle that at the moment. It genuinely feels that way. Last year when we were at the bridge, right? Last year when we were at the bridge, it was 2-0 Chelsea, until Sanchez made a dumb mistake, and we barely scraped with a Trossard goal, from Saka's cross I think it was. We barely scraped a draw. Barely. Obviously at Emirates it was a completely different story, but then again, they had chances, like 2-3 chances. Jackson missed empty net and stuff like that when it was 1-0 only. If Jackson scores that, completely different game, let's be real. But this season again, Jackson looks like he's quite a bit on fire. He's in a good form. Chris Wood is in a great form, scoring goals for Nottingham Forest, potentially Premier League Player of the Month for October. They are also insane. It's quite, I don't know, magical. It's quite insane what actually team does when they have a proper striker. Solanke scored today as well. They beat Aston Villa 4-1. They beat Aston Villa 4-1. That's the only reason why Arsenal are not at the moment 6th, because Aston Villa lost. That's the only reason at the moment. Now let's be real, Spurs are only 2 points behind us. Brighton are only 2 points behind us. Bournemouth are 3 points behind us. Brentford, Newcastle are also only 3 points behind us. This is inexcusable, because if we lose one more game, and that's against Chelsea by the way, they go 3 points clear of us, and we could drop down if the results fall in proper ways. We could drop down to like what, 8th? And what are we gonna do then? I know that's basically talking about ifs, whats and buts and all that stuff, and I don't know, if my nan had wheels she'd be a train and all that stuff, but it's a possibility. Let's be real, with the way at the moment we are in form, it's a big possibility. And if we looked forward to the game against Inter Milan, yes, they may be not in the greatest of forms at the moment and everything, but they can score goals. They're very threatening on the attack. Thuram can score. Lautaro, yes, he misses quite a bit of chances, but he can score. Dumfries, Darmian, they have players. Barella would be amazing for Arsenal in the midfield. I would love to have Barella, but do Arsenal have the cojones to go and sign that? No. Ultimately, we are where we are because Arteta has no balls. Literally, because he doesn't have the courage to look at himself in the mirror at the moment and say, I got quite a bit wrong. It's time to change things up. Because he will stick by what he wants to do no matter what. Because that is the case at the moment. Because no matter what the results, what are the outcomes, we play the same way, same style, and nothing has changed. And for people that hope that Odegaard comes back and he will be our savior, if we, as Arsenal and the biggest clubs in England, are praying for one player to come back and change our whole season, for one player that will be the savior, that we are so dependent on one player, that is not serious. We might as well pack it up now. Because we never know if there will be a setback for Odegaard maybe. We don't know how will he look when he comes back. He will need a few games to come back into the rhythm and everything. We don't know what's gonna happen. And the only chance we had is to play in Ranieri at certain times, and Arteta didn't do it. He was arguably the most creative, the most energetic spark we can have in the number 10 role. The one thing that was working for us is the connection between number 10 and Kai Havertz, number 10 and Saka, number 10 and Martinelli to some extent. That was the one thing that was working. And Arteta just decided not to do it. Completely disregarded that. For me also, one of the biggest things is we have very small squad, right? The smallest in Premier League and everything, few injuries and it's done and dusted. And we are there pretty much already. For example, Trossard, abysmal game yesterday. He's a player that can play 4 or 5 different positions, for example. Why? Why Arteta persists on having players that can play all across the map, basically? Lucky enough he doesn't put Trossard in goal. These Swiss Army knife type of players. Yes, I get the idea of it. But you cannot have every single player like that. You need to have specialists in the team. Like there's only one goalkeeper in the team. Saliba, Gabriel, specialists at center back. You don't play them number 6. You don't play them right back, left back. They play center back. We have spent 150 million to replace our left back spot. And how we spend those 150 million? Signing players that are not left backs. Center backs that can play left back, midfielders that can play left back at the end of the day. But no specific player for the left back role. Same goes for right back. We have a right back playing left back. Timber, who plays left back, who technically is a right back / right center back, but we play him left back for God's sakes. We have Thomas Partey, who is a number 6, but we decide to play him right back. What are we doing? Why cannot Arteta just understand that certain places need special players? Specialists. Number 10 is number 10. Goalkeeper is goalkeeper. Striker is striker. Number 6 is number 6. Right back is right back. Why does he persist on playing right back as a left back? Number 6 as a right back. Left wing as a number 10 and stuff like that. Versatility is good. But at least the spine of the team needs to be specialist so you can have at least some structure in the team. You don't ask Rodri to play right back, for example, for Man City. You just don't do that. Whenever have you seen that? You don't ask, for example, Haaland to play left wing. Haaland to play right wing. Haaland to play number 10. You don't ask him that. Like, what are we doing here? Like, legitimately, what are we doing here? The problem with Tete is he never learns. Exactly, same mistakes every single year. That is one of the biggest things. Same mistakes every single year. Very predictable substitutions and same mistakes every single year. When we signed Kai Havertz, I said that he will die by that sword. He will play him until that works. At the moment, it looks like it's the same story with Merino. He will play him until it works. He's not a number 10. He's not even a proper number 8. He's something in between 6 and an 8. And actually, I have no idea what he is in a way. And again, the third best midfielder in Real Sociedad's team. Zubimendi obviously is number 1. Second one is that who plays number 10? Brais Mendes. For me, it was either Zubimendi, or you go and sign Fabian Ruiz if you want a Spaniard so much from PSG. But we get Merino so we can have a Spider-Man meme. Here you are. Like Mikel can do it with Mikel Merino. That's what basically we did. Like, he cannot pass properly, he cannot shoot properly. He can tackle at least a bit, but pace-wise he's like Granit Xhaka, even slower. He has scored a goal, that was great. But did that help us? Nothing, no. Like, it just makes no sense, and these mistakes Arteta makes, especially tactically, same mistakes. How comes this season, every single time we come out almost in second half, we look worse than the first half? Why? What is he doing at the halftime for players to play worse? We nearly conceded from the kickoff against Newcastle in the second half. How comes we looked worse? What is he telling them in the halftime talk? Like, seriously, what is he doing? Ange Postecoglou today, by the way. Big up to Ange. I don't big up Tottenham at all, pretty much, but big up, because what he did at halftime to switch it all around and for basically to score 4 past Aston Villa and to win the game, that was brilliant halftime talk. Let's be real. As much as we bantered Tottenham, as much as we banter Ange and everyone, he did great today. Let's be real. Remember when we were finishing 8th, right? At the time. And Spurs with Poch and everyone were finishing 2nd and everyone, and we were laughing at Spurs because they couldn't get it over the line. Remember those days? At the moment, it's the same thing, just the roles are reversed. We are benching Spurs because they're 8th. Well, yeah, they are. No, they're 7th, but you get the point. They are down there. But we are where Spurs were a few seasons ago. Same place. We are up there, but we just couldn't get the job done. Again. And again. And again. We are basically spicy Tottenham at the moment. We talk big talk. We have all these expectations half the time. And we win nothing. That's basically what it is. We have turned also partially as well like Liverpool, where before Klopp, history FC. Every single year, this is our season. This year we're gonna win the title. This is us. And by the end of the season, oh, remember in those days when we won the Champions League? We haven't even won Champions League, for fuck's sake. Remember when we won the league and everyone, we almost got it done. They had Brendan Rodgers then and all them, man. What Brendan Rodgers did, always finishing this close to winning the title. What did the ownership do? Said, thanks, you've done your job. It's time to get in a proper manager, and then we're gonna go for it. That's what they did. Why Kroenkes can't do that? Oh, just because they gave him genuinely a few months ago, month and a half ago, new contract, 15 million a year, second or third best paid manager in the world, a new deal till 2026, I think it was. So at the moment, if you want to sack him, it's 30 million, even more, I think about 40, for the payouts and compensations and all that stuff. Again, but the thing is, do I have trust and belief in the ownership that they will do the right thing and splash the cash, for example, for Inzaghi? Do I? No, I don't. No, I genuinely don't. We're gonna look at this in a second. But for him to make same bizarre decisions every time makes me question whether he's in trying. Exactly. That is the case. Is he even trying? Or is he basically looking like he's trying, but when the right opportunity comes, when the moment is right, he does something, so it looks like he did something, but he did nothing, and there is blame everywhere. Respect Ange, hate Tottenham, basically. Basically. Like, let's look at this. We were looking at this, by the way. Best paid football managers in the world. Best paid football managers in the world. Since Mancini got sacked, he's not number one anymore. Let's be real. Pep Guardiola, number one, 20 million a season. Arteta, won one FA Cup, that's it, in 5 years, 700 million spent, has won fuck all, 15 million a year. Diego Simeone, 10.1 million a year. Carlo Ancelotti at Real, multiple winner, countless trophies, 9.6 million a year. Jose Mourinho at Fenerbahce, proven winner besides Tottenham, because Tottenham never win anything, let's be real, they're shit. But yeah, 8.9 million. Jorge Jesus Al Hilal, 8.4, okay, that's a bit different story. Unai Emery, 8 million a season. A manager that has won 3 back-to-back Europa Leagues with Sevilla, who has won Europa League with Villarreal, in Super Cup won, and he beat Manchester United on the way and got to the semi-finals of Champions League next season, whilst before year that, when he won the Europa League, he schooled Mikel Arteta in the Europa League semi-finals. 8 million. He gets half, basically, what Mikel Arteta gets. And to add insult to the injury at the time, when Unai Emery was doing all this with Villarreal, right? He was having Arsenal rejects. Seriously. Like Francis Coquelin. He was playing him right wing, right center mid, right mid at the time, partially as well. Spurs reject Foyth. Like 35, 32, 33-year-old Raul Albiol. I think Pepe Reina was still there, and players like that. Luis Enrique, PSG, 7.5 million. Again, proven winner. Arne Slot, Liverpool, 6.8 million. Has won more than Mikel Arteta as the manager. He is actually a proper manager. From what I have heard about him from Eredivisie and Dutch fans, he's actually a proper manager. He has won things, and quite a bit. Vincent Kompany, new manager, okay, cool. 6.7 million. But the way Bayern Munich are playing, nothing to sneeze at in a way. Steven Gerrard, no idea why he's there. Ruben Amorim, Manchester United, 6.5 million. Again, proven winner in Liga NOS, in Portuguese league. It's not Liga NOS, is it still at the moment? But in Portuguese league, for Lisbon Sporting, by the way, who hadn't won title in countless years. In countless years. He schooled Mikel Arteta, by the way, in Europa League. Remember those days? With the Gonçalves, when he lobbed Ramsdale for halfway line and everything. When they had those Conceição as well. No, Conceição was Porto, never mind. When he had those. Now he had Gyökeres. Gyökeres, by the way, yesterday scored 4 goals, by the way. 4 goals in one game. And we don't need a striker. Thomas Tuchel, England, 6 million, right? But Thomas Tuchel as well, proven winner. Wins cups. He's a cup manager, proper one. Has won quite a bit. Came in, took over Lampard, Chelsea, who said they are not ready to win anything, and what he does, goes wins. Goes wins, what's he won? Champions League, I think it was. My memory is all over the place, sorry. Simeone Inzaghi, Inter Milan, 5.5 million. Inzaghi, the one I want at Arsenal at the moment, one of the managers, gets 3 times pretty much less than Mikel Arteta, yet he has won about, 5 times more than Mikel Arteta. Let's look at this, by the way. Simeone Inzaghi. Simeone Inzaghi. Let's put it like manager. Simeone Inzaghi, manager profile. What he has won as a manager. Let's look at it this way. He won Italian champion 23-24, Italian cup winner with Lazio, Inter Milan twice. He won Italian Super Cup with Lazio 3 times, Lazio 2 times. He won Coppa Italia Primavera with Lazio under 19. He has won quite a bit as the manager. Average term as a coach nearly 3 years. Preferred formation 3-5-2 flat. Can you imagine Arsenal playing 3-5-2 flat? For example, Saliba, Gabriel White as center backs, wing backs of Tierney and Urian Timber for the lack of better judgment. Then you have 2 midfielders, for example, of Odegaard and Rice, and you need another midfielder there, right? So you can put whoever you want, or 3-4-3 even if you want. Then you have the 2 wingers of Saka and Martinelli, and you put up top whoever you get, for example, Gyökeres. Or Gyökeres, Saka's strikers or stuff like that. Can you imagine Arsenal cooking with 3-5-2? Because under Mikel Arteta, retired manager. Here we go. When he took over, preferred formation at the moment is 4-3-3, but manager career. If we look at this profile, where is it? Here it is. Wait until it loads. But yeah, here we go. All seasons. No, we don't need all seasons. We need 19-20 season when he just took over. He played in FA Cup. Have you? He plays semi-final 3-4-3 against Man City, wins. 5-4-1 beats Chelsea in the final. 3-4-3 beats Liverpool and lost to Spurs. 3-4-3, 3-4-3, 3-4-3. He tried 4-2-3-1 in the beginning. It was working semi-decently, but this shifted into 5 at the back half the time. And then he just plays 3 at the backs, 5 at the backs. When he was playing this type of formation, this was arguably our best formation to play at the time. And since then, since he used 3-4-3, which basically shifted into 5-4-1 and stuff like that, he has never used it since. A formation that guaranteed him a cup. He has never gone back since. Never ever. Unless basically going gets rough and he needs to change, and we are down to 10 men and stuff like that. Until then, he does nothing. Nothing. Something else this Cohn guy did yesterday really pissed me off. He said Martinelli missed a big chance trying to deflect the blame. There was no big chance for Martinelli. Merino had a big chance in front of the net. Obviously, he was very close to the defender, so he basically hit it at him. Declan Rice had a header. I think Merino also had a header. Few players had. Martinelli's big chance, I actually don't remember that. I genuinely don't remember Martinelli's big chance. Might be wild, but I remember Declan Rice's big chance, Merino's big chance, and stuff like that. I don't remember his big chance. But yeah, he at the interview at the end he said, "I have to take the blame." But overall, let's be real. Before that, you named all the players who didn't score the goal, so basically you blamed them. Let's be real. It doesn't work like that. Let's double Inzaghi's... Exactly. Let's double Inzaghi's money and bring him... The thing is, though, if you think about this, right? We have to pay 30 million if we sack Arteta at the moment, right? 30 million. So we would have to buy out his contract as well. How long is Inzaghi's contract till at Inter Milan? Till 2027, right? So that's 3 seasons. Well, 2.5, let's just say 3 seasons. That's extra 16.5 million. So basically, to sack Arteta and buy out Inzaghi's contract, we have to pay the same amount we would pay Mikel Arteta over the 3 years while he's still, if he remains at the job. That would be the same amount. Straight up. for sacking Arteta plus buying out Simeone's contract, Simeone and Inzaghi's contract, we would have to pay pretty much the same amount as keeping Mikel Arteta for 3 years. And then you can give him 10 million a year easily. What's the holdup? Hey, yo, Josh, Stan, what's the holdup, huh? What is the holdup? You happy with your top four? Happy with the ownership of Arsenal, that it's your cash cow for your LA Rams, new shopping malls and crap like that? How about you do something for a change? Sack the manager, get proper one in, give money for proper players, and maybe watch us win the league. Because actually winning the league, winning Champions League and stuff like that, would actually get you more money long term, if you come to think about it. It's bad enough that you raise the prices of the Emirates seats every single goddamn season pretty much. How comes the prices go up, but performances get worse? The math ain't mathin', huh? Anyways, that's how he tricks. That's how he tricks these super gooners. He speaks from both sides of his mouth, saying, "I'll take the blame and accountability," but then throws. Exactly, that is the case. He promises certain players the world and delivers nothing. But that's the thing with top gooners. You can say whatever you want. Legitimately, week 2 passes, they have goldfish memory. They instantly forget. Because nobody now mentions the fact that Arteta wanted to resign when first time we finished second with 8 points when we were clear. Nobody remembers the fact pretty much that we binned off 21 young players when we were making film about Hale End pretty much. Nobody remembers that. Ever. Nobody remembers that Arteta in January promised the world for Emil Smith-Rowe and didn't deliver. Nobody remembers. Where was it? In the first season when we finished second, in January Arteta said, "Oh, we spread the goals around, we don't need a striker." Fast forward 1 year, he gets asked after we go 1-7, do you think you need we need a striker at Arsenal to score goals? "Oh, we have what we have, we don't have a striker, we need to work what we have." Those things get forgotten instantly. It takes a bit of time, some good results, everything, all forgotten. Because if we beat Chelsea, guarantee you half the fan base will forget that we lost to Newcastle or that we lost to Bournemouth. Because we're happy again, we won. They never look at the overall thing. They look basically game by game basis. They move they move basically steps, and they pick and choose what they want to see and they don't want to see. A top gooner said to me today that Wenger only won 1 league tie. Well, yeah. Let's be real. But yeah, it's insane. I genuinely believe unless Arteta gets sacked, nothing will change. This season has all the indications of massive catastrophe at the end of the season. Massive one. And the sad part is, I'm not too sure that these top gooners are ready for it. Because once it happens, there will be more, again, excuses. "Oh, Odegaard was injured in the beginning of the season. Oh, Saka was injured for some time. Oh, our defense wasn't as good as it was last year. Oh, but we didn't get the right pieces in the transfer window." How about instead of all that, turn your attention to Arteta, Edu, and what's its face, and Kroenkes, and call out Arteta's tactics. Lack of movement in the transfer window, development of the style, game management, lack of money, ownership issues. How about you direct attention to that, call that out, and then you see if something changes. Because at the moment, it's genuinely insane. Exactly. They always have an answer for anything. For everything, exactly. And especially, I love this question. Oh, who's a realistic manager you can get who is available? Motherfucker, everyone's available if you pay the right money. Let's be real. Sorry for swearing, but if you pay the money, everyone's available. You do think Ruben Amorim wasn't available? Yes, he was. Pay the money, buy out his contract, pay the money, he comes. He's gonna take over United after November international break. Let's be real. Do you think if we potentially offer Inzaghi 10 million a year at the moment, don't you think that his head will spin a bit? Don't you think he will start to think it over? Double the wages he's getting right now a year. A very good squad which needs basically 2-3 final touches, and he can win Premier League. He can potentially even challenge for Champions League. Don't think he doesn't want that. He wouldn't want that. If Ancelotti gets sacked and we offer him 15 million a year, I'd rather, if Arteta gets sacked and we go for Ancelotti, I'd rather pay Ancelotti 15 million a year than Mikel Arteta. Like, there are managers available. I wanted Hansi Flick. Oh, but what he has done before. I wanted Ancelotti. Oh, but what he did at Everton. Let's be real, he did good at Everton. Let's be real, he did very good at Everton with a very mediocre team. And James Rodriguez and stuff like that. That is the thing. We had a chance to sign Ancelotti twice. Twice! After we sacked Wenger and after we sacked Emery. He was available both times. Oh no, but we didn't. We had numerous chances to sign multiple managers. A very proven winners, mind you. And we basically decided to do nothing. And that always will be the history of Arsenal. Always do the bare minimum to keep the fans happy, and if shit hits the fan, do something so it looks like we're moving in the right direction, and then at some point when everyone's rosy and dandy, stop it until again shit hits the fan and it starts over and over and over again, as in a never-ending cycle. Because that has been the case all the time. Because as soon as we had to let go of Alexis Sanchez, shit hit the fan. We never do big deals in January. Oh, what we can do, we go sign Aubameyang. It's always like that. Arsenal fans go protest at the Emirates and everything. Oh, what we do, Kroenkes instantly give Arteta like 400 million over the next 2 seasons. We sign Declan Rice and we sign other big players. Instantly. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. As soon as shit hits the fan, they actually do something. Maybe actually be more proactive. Maybe actually do something. That is it. But anyways, I guess top Gunners need to learn the hard way. And I'm not sure even they will learn from that. But I guess time will tell. But yeah, at the moment, we are a shit show. I strongly believe Arteta it's his time. It's his time to go. He's very lucky to be a manager at Arsenal, but I think his luck has run out. It's time to say goodbye. Arteta is lucky that this run is coming in a long spell of away games. True, if it was at home, it would be 3 times the worse, first of all. That would be much, much, much worse. Arteta has, exactly, 9 lives like a cat. I hope those 9 lives doesn't translate into 9 years, because if that is the case, oh bloody hell, I'm not ready for that. But anyhow, I think on that note, I will end it here. I think I've made my point and my feelings pretty much damn clear about where I stand on Arteta and all that stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new around here, of course, don't forget to subscribe, smash that thumbs up. If you're watching this as a playback, leave down a comment below. I'm gonna try to answer to every single comment. Have a great evening. Have a great time. Enjoy your day. New week starts tomorrow. Oh bloody hell. And of course, during the week we have Champions League, so that is something to look forward to from if you look at it on one side, and something not I'm looking forward to on the other side. As weird as it sounds. But we're gonna talk about it when the time comes. But yeah, for now, take care, stay safe, and see you all tomorrow.